So in this video, I'm going to do a simple walkthrough of a demo of the Alfresco digital business platform. This is the scenario that we worked with Interstate Restoration to develop. It shows a simple interaction between project managers and operations managers and contractors doing a job on site. The first step in this project will be a project manager named Jim. Jim is going to initiate a new job using his mobile device in the field to fill out a form. This form will be submitted and moved along to contractors to fill out, for operations managers to review, and ultimately to be published into the content management system. So let's see what Jim's experience might look like. Being is an application developed using the Alfresco Application Development Framework. This framework allows us to quickly and easily create a responsive design web application that utilizes Angular 2. We've done some simple skinning of this application to use the Interstate logo and colors, but we've really only scratched the surface at what can be done to turn this into a very rich and robust user experience. Because this is based in Angular 2, this is a responsive design web application, so it can be easily executed on an iPad or a mobile device, but in this case for the demo, we're just simply using a browser. So as Jim logs in, Jim can be taken to his jobs menu where he sees all of the active jobs that he has in his queue. So Jim is working on an Atlanta job. He can quickly see what is going on with this job. It's a water damage job. Peter is the contractor working on it. When did it start? What is the job number? Jim can also create a new job. So let's create a new job. This form that we're seeing was designed using the Activity Graphical Form Designer and can be easily configured to capture whatever data is required for Jim to define what this job is. So I'm just going to fill out some of this simple data. Start dates, the job number, the type of job, who to contact on site, maybe a phone number, what is the job location. I can select who the contractor that I expect to do the work to be. You can see as I start typing a name, what's happening in the background is a pre-populated list of possible users is being queried to find the user who's in the system, Peter Smith. Peter is the person that I expect to complete this job. So Jim can now submit this new job called New Demo. It is now assigned to a contractor, Peter, on site to complete the job. So now let's look at Peter, the contractor. Peter may be on site. He may have finished the work that he's been asked to do. And instead of filling out a piece of paper that has to be scanned and faxed, possibly Peter can use a device or a laptop or a mobile device to actually put in his data, sign his signature proving that he was on site, and submit that back to the project manager and ultimately the operations manager. So to take a look at what Peter might see, again, we see our application. We will sign in as Peter. And Peter is taken directly to the tasks that have been assigned to him. So by clicking this task, Peter sees all of the job data that was entered by Jim. Peter can enter in his work information. So he started the job on Thursday. He finished it on Friday. And we've incorporated a very simple electronic signature option that Peter can use to sign that he was actually on site, that he did this work. Peter's going to sign this and submit it for review. So now that Peter has finished his work, the task will come back to Jim to review Peter's information and submit it on to his operations manager. So we'll log in as Jim, and when Jim looks at his tasks, he sees he has a review task. Again, it has the job number information, it has Peter's signature, all of the contractor information that Peter entered about his start and stop time. He can add additional information for his operations manager and now submit this to the operations manager. Now let's look at Mary, the operations manager. After Jim has reviewed Peter's work, he can send it along to Mary for her to approve. Mary can also reject the job if some of the data is incorrect and maybe send it back to Jim for a correction. So let's take a look at what this might look like. There's a number of ways Mary might be notified that she has a task to do. Out of the box, the Alfresco activity platform can generate emails. This is a simple example that could be more customized, but it simply lets Mary know that she has a task that she needs to pay attention to. This email could include more of the data from the task, so that maybe Mary could even make her decision directly from the email. But in this case, she can just simply click the button to open up the task. When she clicks the button, she can open directly into the same application we've been looking at with the task directly, saving her time and making it easy for her to jump in and see what needs to be done and interact with this process. In this case, she can review all the data that she got from Peter and from Jim, and she could sign this if she's ready to approve it, or if there's an issue, she can send feedback to Jim and have him correct it. In this case, Mary is indicating that the job number is wrong, and she's going to reject this task to send it back to Jim. Again, Jim could see that rejection through email, or he could simply, next time he logs in and looks at his task, he can see that he has that task in his inbox. Jim can now make the correction to the job number and resubmit the job. Now Mary can log back in. She can take a look at the job back from Jim with the corrected job number, and now she can sign and approve the job. Now that content is stored in the content repository, it makes it easy for other people in the organization to find that content and use it. In this case, we have John from Central Billing who is looking for information about job number 12349. He'll be able to do that and find all the relevant data. Let's take a look at what John might see. So in this case, we're just seeing an out-of-the-box interface for the content system. Of course, we could create an ADF-based application like we've been using for John to use, but for this simple demo, we're just using the out-of-the-box Alfresco content interface. So from here, John can quickly go in and simply do a search. And as he types in a job number, he's immediately presented with any documents that match this search criteria. Of course, the search can find documents with this name or documents with this content in it, but John can quickly open the document. He can preview the document in his browser without having to move into another application or another viewer app, and he can see some of the simple data that we included in this sample document, including the electronic signatures from the process. This document could, of course, be more sophisticated and have more of the content in here. This is just a simple example. But as John scrolls down, he can see metadata that represents all of that process data, the manager, the job number, the job type. Again, this is available for search and associated now with this document. Also, if there were multiple versions of this document, we would have access to them here. And these documents are now under the full control of a content management system. So this video gives you a simple idea of a very basic example that reflects the power of the Alfresco content and process platform with the application development framework to create user experiences on top of that. This really only scratches the surface and much more can be done, but hopefully this gives you a flavor. Thank you very much.